Texans prepare to face Storm Nicholas as 65-mile-an-hour winds and 20 inches of rain head for the state's central coast. Texas and Louisiana are bracing for the arrival of Tropical Storm Nicholas, which is expected to hit the region with an intense storm surge and rains that could cause widespread flooding. This comes as Louisiana, of course, is still struggling in the aftermath of Hurricane Ida, which made landfall on the state only 2 weeks ago. The National Hurricane Center said Nicholas could also reach that hurricane intensity when it comes ashore along the southern coast of Texas late on Monday evening. Well, for the latest, I've been speaking to Tim Pandagis, a meteorologist at KHOU, the CBS-affiliated station in Houston.
You know, the latest update on Nicholas, it's a high-end tropical storm. The latest National Hurricane Center advisory coming out just an hour or so ago does put it flirting with a Category 1 hurricane. And if it does, in fact, strengthen up until landfall, which is expected right around midnight local time, it could be the latest in a series of storms that we've seen intensifying right up to landfall. And this storm making landfall would be the 8th storm so far this year to make landfall in the U.S. We're coming off 2020, record-breaking season with 11 storms making landfall. And here we are with our 14th named storm, could be our 8th landfall.
Yeah, the challenge is pretty evident. Just looking at the details of the storm itself, Storm Nicholas, it sounds like the rain could be the biggest challenge.
Right, and that was what we were most afraid of in terms of southeast Texas, because we flood quite easily here in the Houston metro area. But preceding the arrival of Nicholas, our situation was pretty good because we've been dry for a while, so our ground was dry, our rivers and bayous were running quite low, so we're able to absorb a lot more of that rainfall. Thankfully, the forecast has evolved a little bit, and the heaviest rain looks to stay right along the immediate coastline, but still, nonetheless, even if you're dry for weeks on end, getting a foot of rainfall will cause flooding in a lot of these low-lying areas.
Right. I mean, there's a lot to worry about for a lot of people, obviously, but it's difficult to get away from the thought that Louisiana could once again find itself being pummeled.
Yeah, and as it heads inland later tonight, it's expected to take an eastwards turn, and as it weakens over land, it still has a ton of tropical moisture, and as it heads into Louisiana, they're expecting flash flooding occurrences to happen pretty much in the next couple of days as well in areas that are, as you mentioned, still recovering from Ida just 2 weeks ago.